Welcome to episode 146 of Ron's Update podcast. Today is the first day of my 78th year on this particular planet. And in this past year, I ran my 41st Peachtree Road Race. And I have run quite a few short trail races. I haven't been running anything long. Most of my little trail races I've been running have been in the 3-mile range, which are just fun races. You don't have to prepare a whole lot for them. You just kind of wake up in the morning, get your gear on, and head out and run the race, and you're done in about 35 to 45 minutes based on how I'm feeling. So I've had a pretty good year, and I'm hoping to have another good year. I'm preparing for my 5th Galloway half. I think I've done 4 of the 5, or whatever number it may be, I don't know. I've missed one, let's put it that way. I registered last year for the Galloway. I had been injured, and I switched to the virtual, and then I didn't end up running it. That was the 2017 half. The 2018 half I ran it fairly slow, which was fine. I'm not in PR mode. As you can see, when you're 78, hey, if you can finish a race, that's what counts, right? Starting them is the most important, and finishing them. And so far I've finished all the races I've started. And speaking of that, I think it's a couple of years ago now, there's a race up at Chateau Elan Vineyard northeast of where I live. It's a Dirty Spokes trail race that runs through the vineyards, and the year before last I ran that and that's when I pulled my hamstring, and I hopped for the last maybe 2 miles, something like that, to finish. I did finish, but it was a chore. So that race is coming back up again this month, November, and I would like to run it again. There's a short trail race at Little Mulberry Park in a week or 2 that I might run 3.3 miles, and then the Chateau Elan race is after that. So those are 2 races I would like to run prior to doing the Galloway half in December. And then in April of next year, I'm doing the Star Wars Rivals, it's called 10K, down at Disney World. My daughter Laura's going with me, and possibly my middle son Ryan might go, but I don't think he's gonna run the race. I think him and his girlfriend are planning on going down there for the weekend just to be with Laura and myself. But we'll see. I don't know that that's in stone yet. He's trying to work it out, but I think his girlfriend may have to. She teaches nursing, I believe, and she may have to teach that week and not be able to go down there. But we'll see. So that's kind of a little update on what I have been doing and the one race I have planned for this coming year. And as you may be able to tell, I'm in my car and I'm headed down to Mountain Park. That's where I do a lot of my short runs. And it's a Friday evening, actually. It's like 6:32. And I'm going to go down there and do a short tempo run. And then come back home and enjoy myself. It's about 52 degrees. This is the coldest it's been that I'll have been out running this year. That seems kind of weird for the 1st of November, and it's finally down to 52. Not having had to dress for the cool weather, it's kind of like, going the first time. You go, well, should I wear long pants? Should I wear what should I wear? Because I myself don't like to be cold. And the problem is when you start out, sometimes you're cold, but then after you've run 10 or 15 minutes, you're not anymore. And so we'll see how it goes. Right now, I've got some Nike warm-up pants on. I've got an old Disney half marathon long sleeve shirt on, and I've got some Nike Flyknit RN Freeze on. I've been running my speed workouts in those, and my speed workouts overall aren't that fast, but well, they probably aren't fast anyway, but I do a 10-minute warm-up and a 10-minute cool-down. So 20 minutes of my run are warm-up and cool-down. So anything in between that I run, like today I'll be running 20-minute tempo in the middle. So overall, a 40-minute run, 20 minutes of it's going to be super slow, and the 20-minute tempo part won't be super fast, so my overall pace is probably going to be in the 13s or 14s. But I kind of like these short runs like this. Wednesday, I did a drill workout, and basically I'm on my schedule. I do a drill workout on Tuesdays and a tempo run on Thursdays. This week I did the drill workout on Wednesday, and I'm doing the tempo on Friday. So I have a 12-mile run scheduled for Sunday, a long run, which will be super slow, but hey, it's just getting in the miles, right? Well, I am almost at Mountain Park, so I'm gonna shut off the recorder, and then I'll come back later and let you know how it went. How's that sound? See ya. I'm back. I just finished my tempo run workout at Mountain Park. I ran a little over 3 miles, close to 3.3, I guess. And I had a pretty good workout. Temperature 52 degrees, no wind. Felt good. I was a little chilly at the start of the run, but after I got going, I warmed up and I felt pretty good just with a pair of Nike warm-up pants on and my long sleeve shirt. So I had a good run, and my goal for my workouts based on a Magic Mile I did, and then my coach Chris Twiggs told me what pace I need to run for my tempos and what run-walk ratios I'm using and all that. So I'm running and walking 30-30, and my pace for my tempo portion of the workout is supposed to be like 13-minute pace, which is pretty slow, but you have to realize I'm also 78. But I usually get it in between 12 and 13-minute average. And I don't know if I just ran, I'm sure that I would do much better than that, but I like the run-walk thing. I want to run as many years as I can run, and right now I'm at 78, and I started in 1972, 1973, 1974 range. I started in 72 when Shorter won the marathon in the Olympics, but it was kind of off and on from 72 to 74. But in 74 is when I really got into it and really took off, and have run ever since on a regular basis. So I want to do like Jeff Galloway has that book out, Run Till You're 100. Well, that's what I want to do. So I am walking instead of running constantly. I mean, if I was younger, I'd probably be running constantly because that's what I did when I was younger. Back when I started running, in fact, all the way until I was about, in my late 60s, I felt like I tried to be a competitive age group runner. I tried to place in my age group in every race. And being in the Atlanta Track Club, I felt like if I got in the top 5 of my age group, I was doing good, because the track club is a little bit harder core than the average just race you go run in, because everybody in the track club is fairly serious, or at least they used to be. I don't know how they are now. And I used to do the Grand Prix series in the track club, where they had races just about every month, sometimes 2 a month, all year. And they had about, I think at the time I was doing, there was about 15 Grand Prix races a year that I was running off and on, or trying to get in. Yeah, I think you had to finish 10 of them to qualify for awards for the year. So I always tried to get in at least 10 out of the 15. And then later on they moved it down to 7. And I don't know what it is now. What happened is the races were free to members, and then slowly, as the track club evolved, they started changing some of the Grand Prix races to paid races, and doing T-shirts, because the free races you didn't get T-shirts or anything, you just ran the race. And when they started doing that, more and more of the races got to be races you had to pay for, and they still, I guess, were considered Grand Prix races, but it just kind of took the whole club thing out of it. It was more getting commercial. So I have very seldom run any Grand Prix races for 5 years maybe. I was running the Resolution run is January 1st, and off and on I'll still run that one even though I have to pay for it. It's a Grand Prix race. But they have a fairly nice t-shirt, and it's, you start out the new year with a race. It's varied from year to year on how long it was. It's been 5K, it's been 4 or 5 miles. I think at one time they had two different. They used to have like a 5K and a 10K, and back when it was free, and then when they started charging, I think they switched to just one race of around 4 miles. I don't know. I'd have to look. I haven't ran it in about 2 years, at least 2 or 3. I don't know how I regressed off onto this Atlanta track stuff, but anyway, where was I? Before I stopped recording to do my workout, I was talking about some of these trail races I was doing, and I've kind of replaced my track club running with the Dirty Spokes trail races off and on, and they're paid races too. You have to pay to run them, but they're all trail races, and I like the whole setup that Tim, the race director, has. He runs a good race, every one of them. And a few weeks ago we had one at Chattahoochee Point. Was a 5K and 10K, and I ran the 5K. And Chattahoochee Point is a trail system that's near the Chattahoochee River, right near the edge. So it's really a flat course, and it's really not wooded. It's more like a park with a crushed rock trail. So it's not a standard type trail race through the woods. It's more of a through the park trail race. And I ran that, came in first in my age group, and ran like a 35:24, I think it was, which is probably my fastest 5K in a while. And you could almost consider it like a road race instead of a trail race, because it was flat. There was no footing problems. There were no, it was a nice trail to run on, and I enjoyed that race. And of course the next one is going to be his race out at Little Mulberry Park again. Last one I ran out there was that nighttime trail race. I haven't mentioned it either. I ran that race and won my age group. It was like at 8:30 at night, and it was in September, like September 13th or 14th, whichever is a Saturday night. And got out there, ran out on the trail to warm up and just see how it was, and then came back and waited around for the race to start. And as soon as the race started at 8:30 and we ran down a little paved section to get to the woods, it started raining, and it started thundering, and I think it rained the whole race. And talk about a mud bog. That trail in the woods was messy. I mean, and of course I had my headlamp and my handheld tactical flashlight with me, and I could see really good where I was running, but it was a sloppy race. But it was fun. I have to say that. It was a fun race. I liked it, even though it was sloppy, wet, messy. It's a trail race, right? And I really liked it. Well, I even liked it better since I won my age group. But it was just funny how as soon as the race started, it started raining, pouring down rain, really. But being in the woods, you weren't really getting drenched by the water, but it was hitting the trail and making the trail really messy, and it was just fun. So, well, I'm back home again, pulling into my driveway, so I'm going to have to cut this thing off and pick up later on, okay? This, maybe I can get enough recording out of here to put out a podcast. We'll see. Well, that's it for this update, and I'm planning on putting out another one in a day or two, so stay tuned and see what I got going. Talk to you later. Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening to today's podcast. We'll be here next time. Keep the emails coming in and be sure to subscribe.